Good evening, everybody. I'm Kath Lloyd, Make the Change, and it's Wednesday night and it's Let's Talk. So tonight it is back to basics. Now, the reason why I've gone back to basics is because I hear a lot of people say, I'm so stressed, work so this, work so that, my relationship with this, my relationship with that. And then so I start talking with them about whatever it is that issue is, and they go, but. And that is the crunch. That are they really wanting to change? Because already in a very basic discussion, they are already putting up barriers as to why they shouldn't change. So, yeah, back to basics. Quite interestingly, I was having an interesting conversation with my sister the other day, who is a swimming teacher and has been a swimming teacher for many, many years, and she is a very, very good swimming teacher. And we were talking about getting back to basics with swimming, and she was sort of talking about how, a lot of parents are pushing their children when they are very, very young to be, they should be doing front crawl and breathing properly. And she said, but they're only 6 years old. And what my sister was saying, that it isn't till they're about 8 or 9 years old that their brains and their bodies are catching up with each other. And it's only then that my sister can start to introduce more sophisticated swimming techniques to really help them improve and excel. And still, they might not be ready for it. And then she was going on to explain about teaching diving. Now, I remember when my kids went to swimming classes and they were taught diving, and they were just taught to sort of stand on the edge of the pool, to sort of crouch down, and then sort of to flop into the water. But actually, through many, many years of my sister teaching swimming and teaching autistic kids to swim, that it is a lot more to develop good technique. It takes a lot more than that. And so in actual fact, what my sister spends a lot of time doing in the pool with these kids is teaching them to do handstands. Because if you can do a handstand with the right technique, then, it's a very, very similar technique to diving into a pool. And so this is what has really sort of pushed me to look at basics again. So, to change, to want to change, it is about mindset. Okay, we can spend a lot of time thinking about change and perhaps, I want to be this, or I want to be that, I want to be slimmer, I want to be fitter, I want to have a better career, I want to have more qualifications. But until you've got that sorted as to why you need to do it, or why you want to do it, or why you should do it, nothing else is going to change. And then even when you do know the answers to it, as we know, any change can be very, very difficult. So if you're struggling to find the reason or the drive or there's another word in there that I can't quite think about at the moment, to want something different, it's about why. Why? These are always the important questions to ask yourself. Why do I want this change? What is it going to give me? What difference is it going to make to me? What difference is it going to make to the other people around me? What are the benefits of having it? What are the benefits of not having it? Which is just as an important question. So the why question. And then, to manage the information, because the answer might be too difficult to comprehend, that you might start off with, the easy answers. And it's a shame I haven't got that book with me, actually. I've started reading a book. I think it's entitled Love, Pray, Eat. And the lady writing, she's talking about a divorce and sort of why she wants a divorce or why she wants to go travelling. And she could, to make it less painful for herself, she only answered the shallow, sort of low, the high level or low level, gave the low level answers. And it wasn't until that she felt a lot more comfortable, excuse me, that she could answer in more depth about what it was that she really wanted. Because sometimes when we want change, whatever change it might be, and especially if it is, been causing a lot of turmoil for you, or conflict in conversations for you, you might need to ease yourself into the answers. Okay. And that's what I mean about, the shallow answers rather the in-depth answers, the answers that are coming from your gut. But it's all important, isn't it? Because you've got to know all of the different reasons why you want something. And, once you can understand that to a good depth, then you are in a better position to be able to make that change. Now, a lot of the time, when we're so caught up with wanting change or we're in the turmoil of conflict, we're very, very anxious, we clamp up, and so it's very, very difficult to be able to find the answers. And this is where, your relaxation is really important. Be able to give yourself time. And quite often, it isn't until we can spend time like going on holiday or having a little weekend away or just making sure that you're not so busy that your mind can relax, and it allows you to open up to yourself. It allows a bit more creativity so that you can really find the answers that you're looking for. So if you can't find the answers that you're looking for, then you need to give yourself that time and that space to be able to find the answers. Like quite often we find, if we can't find something, quite often we think about it at the most unusual time when we are a little bit more relaxed. Excuse me. Okay, so you need to give yourself some time and some relaxation. And, that relaxation, if you're finding it difficult to relax because you are anxious, and quite often this anxiety has been building up over a few weeks or a few months, or even for a lot of people, over years, it can be difficult to give yourself that time to relax. Okay. This takes me back to when I started, doing body balance, when I was at one of my most stressed out times. I went because it would be good for me and it would be good for my fitness and my stretching and my strength. And I was absolutely terrified by what it said at the end was, and we're going to have 10 minutes of relaxation. Okay, so we'd start the relaxation and I'd lie down and then after a couple of minutes right, okay, done the relaxation, need to get home now, need to get on, because it was too painful. Because when I started to relax, that's when I started to think about me. Okay, and so it is, you can put yourself in a painful position, but to be able to find the answers, you've got to push through it. You've got to feel that pain. You've got to get through that emotional barrier so that you can start allowing your mind and your heart to come together, and find the answers that you're looking for. Okay, so you've got to press through it. You've got to be kind to yourself to be able to find the answers. And that is the problem. A lot of the time we're not kind to ourselves. You know, how often have you spent a lot of time listening to your friends or members of your family? And you've listened and you've taken the information in and you have asked the right questions and you have soothed them in the right place, nodded and all of those different sorts of things. But when have you done it for yourself? Okay. And probably, I mean, I'm generalising here, but probably not that often. But it's like anything else, practice makes perfect. So if you've done it once, you can do it again and again. And the more you do it, the easier it will become. But you've got to give yourself that time, that space, that relaxation or that quiet time that I've talked about before, when you can breathe properly, okay, and deeply, and be at one with yourself. And when you're busy, when you're a doer, okay, it is difficult for you to give yourself that time and your space. So yes, I know we're told that we've got to give 100% to everybody. We've got to listen to everybody 100%. We've got to support everybody 100%. Well, yes, in the ideal world, it would be great to do that, but we can't, unfortunately. And sometimes we have to pick and choose who we can talk, who we can listen to now, or who we have to say, I'm sorry, but do you mind if we talk about this tomorrow? All right, because you've got to give yourself time and to reflect and to find your answers out as well, because otherwise you're going to be so tired from supporting other people in all the right ways, then you haven't got the energy to do it for yourself. And it does take energy, emotional energy as well as physical energy. And yes, you might find it very, very emotional, and it might feel as if you're losing control, and the tears might come. Okay, but it will subside if you allow it to go through. It's just like a storm outside. 2 weeks ago there were storms, weren't there? High winds. And it's all energy, and it's just like in us as well. It's just a slightly different version of energy, but that energy will disperse, but you've got to allow it to. If you keep holding on to it, if you keep trying to suppress it, it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger until it just bursts out, at the most awkward time, when you're least expecting it, and then it's going to be even more difficult to manage it. Okay, so it's about managing your thoughts, managing your feelings, so that you can find the right solutions, the right answers, the right way that you want change to that turmoil or that conflict that you are struggling with at the moment, to be able to find the right answers. So, if you are struggling with your breathing, then go back to one of the live Facebooks or Let's Talks that I've done previously, about quiet time. And if, if you're listening and you want me to go through it again, then just send me a comment and I'll do the process again. You know, perhaps there's something quite specific that you need that I haven't covered, and I can support you with that. So, back to basics, okay? Get in touch with your heart and your head. Get them married up together by having your quiet time, doing your relaxation, finding time for you and you alone, so that you can work through it and find the answers out to those why questions. When you know the answers to those why questions, you're in a great position to be able to move forwards. But that forwards motion does need the other ingredient, which is about commitment. Okay, because without the commitment, without the enthusiasm, that's also what could stop you. But that's where a great support network is needed. So all that support you've been giving to other people in the past, this is your chance to reap some of that support back from the people that care about you, that love you for who you are and can see the great, you know, potential in you to help you be the person that you really want to be. So I'm going to love you and leave you, okay? My voice is going to break up again in a moment. So get your relaxation, do your breathing, find that quiet time, preferably outside in some fresh air, and just start asking some questions to yourself as why you want something to be different and the benefits of it. So have a great evening. I'm going to leave you there and I'll speak to you next Wednesday. Bye bye.